So we'll go ahead and get started. I know we had a couple of people that said they weren't going to make it. Today is our last call. So we'll kind of wrap everything up. So it's going to be kind of tight, but I want everybody to have an opportunity to speak on things. There's only one, two, three. Oh, well, no. Why do I feel like I let like 12 people in? And there's three of us here. That's fine. Okay, so let me start so this past week, I'm gonna do this backwards. I'm gonna go over first what it was that what we did our challenge on this past week. And then I'm going to have everyone share some stuff as far as and I'll give you the prompt at the end. So I'm gonna do it in reverse. So this week we talked about your favorite alcoholic drink, right? Or your favorite dessert. So I wanted to kind of talk about sugar and alcohol, but I'm going to focus on the alcohol part of it just because it is a more detrimental part of your nutrition. So, but with everybody's, if you don't mind sharing what it was that you shared on the page as far as your favorite dessert or drink.
All right, I'll go.
Oh, go ahead, Tiff.
Okay. My favorite drink is a margarita, classic margarita. I don't really like my drinks too sweet. I just like, a good little touch of sweetness. Feel like a classic margarita is good. It's just the tequila, the lime juice, and with the preferred I like mine with salt, but some people put sugar. I like the salt on the rim. And that's like my drink of alcoholic choice. For dessert, it's also a drink. But as a dessert drink, it's the espresso martinis. So, I like a good espresso martini. It's a perfect good sweetness to it with some coffee. So I like that. I'm not really, a cake person, ice cream person. So I like to keep my desserts in the drinks. Or like a sour amaretto, but my favorite is the dessert drink is espresso martini.
Got it. I never got around to espresso martinis, but I do like chocolate martinis. So
they are dangerous. So
I can imagine.
So I'm with Tiff. Margaritas are my favorite, and salt rims are what you should have on a margarita, not a sugar rim. That's stupid. I say it all. I'm like, especially if it's like has a flavor to it, like strawberry or mega. Like, why do you need more sugar? Like, put the salt on it. Like, the whole point is the salty sweet, right? That's what I thought, but whatever. And a lot of times, if I'm looking at a menu, I actually will find the one that has the least amount of calories in it. Because most of the time, the places I normally tend to go have the calorie counts on the drinks. So I'm like, which one has the least amount of calories in it? And I will try to do that. As far as dessert is concerned, my weakness in that area, unfortunately, is threefold. So it's ice cream, cookies, chocolate chip to be specific, and brownies. Like, I can do, like, if there's cheesecake on the menu, I'm like, oh, whatever. If there's don't give me cooked fruit. I don't want to eat that anyway. Bread pudding, banana, like all that stuff. Like, bleh. I mean, I do like banana pudding, but I don't have to eat it. But if you have a good chocolate chip cookie, I remember the Grand Lux Cafe used to have a box of 13, and they were chocolate chip pecan. Oh my God. I think 5 of them would be left by the time I got home. Remember I said there was 13? Yeah, it was that bad. But those are my I call them my weaknesses as far as dessert is concerned. But definitely a good margarita. That was probably the first real mixed drink I ever had, and I've never stopped. So
I'll go next. This is Issa, guys. You don't want to see my face. I am defeated today. My drink of choice, it's always a neat tequila. I love a good tequila. If they don't have a good tequila, then I'll mix it with a little bit of pineapple juice and seltzer. But I like straight tequila on ice. And my desserts, I love every dessert out there. I am a dessert person. I can have dessert for breakfast. which is horrible. But my dessert of choice is always gonna be ice cream and like a piece of pie or brownie. And that's it.
Can you repeat the question? I got here late.
The question is what did you post as your favorite dessert or alcoholic beverage?
Okay, so I actually didn't post yet. My favorite dessert. My favorite dessert. My favorite dessert is cake. It's gotta be really good cake. You know this, Melena.
Tea cake?
No, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. I learned the hard way back when I was 21. Um, I was pregnant with my son, and we're planning his baby shower. Oh, my baby shower. And my ex, he had hired a coworker to make our cakes. And it was 4 cakes because it was a big party. And it spelled out baby, DABY. At the end of the party, we still had DY. I ate a cake and a half by myself. My son came early, by the way, so he was at the baby shower. So I didn't have the excuse that I was still pregnant. So I ate a cake and a half, and that's when I realized I had a problem. Because that cake was so good. So I try to like distance myself from cake, and I always get cravings for cake whenever I'm eating healthy. You know, whenever my diet is better and I'm on track, and cake shows up, you're like, I can take a slice. I really could. And my favorite cocktail. Hmm. It's just discovered for me technically, but my favorite drink of choice is cognac, liquor wise. And I just discovered sidecars. So that's my
Discovered what?
big sidecar. That's a
Oh,
cocktail with cognac. Yeah.
oh,
I
okay.
never knew about it until recently. I was like, I used to tell people, surprise me, make a cognac cocktail for me. So now I know that sidecar is a really good one. That's my favorite. But um, one thing I learned back in COVID was it COVID? Was it pre-COVID? Was that how much calorie was in alcohol? So it's like so hard to like just say I'll have a drink because you never just have one drink when you're out.
Mhm.
So one drink is a lot of calories, especially at the end of a night when you've already eaten everything, eaten all your calories that you're allowed.
Mhm.
So trying my best. And then as you always like to tell us, Phoenix, like alcohol is not nutritional, so it doesn't go anywhere. So
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
we're gonna talk about that, yeah, in a second.
yeah. So that's it. And good evening, everyone.
Thank you. Sherry, what about you? Drink or dessert of choice?
I'm with Isa. I like a good tequila. I like 1800 coconut. I could have it neat. I could have it mixed in a drink, but the 1800 coconut is my go-to. I'm mostly a tequila girl. And I'm with her on dessert. It doesn't matter. I'll eat it. My top is a warm brownie. I'm limited with I'm sensitive to dairy, but if it's good enough, I mean, I'll take the hit, you know, and I'll deal with it when I get home.
I know that pain. I know that pain.
It tastes so good, but then I know I'm going to be in a fetal position all night long. But if it's really good, then I'll take it. But if Van Leeuwen is around, I will get the vegan ice cream, and they're just stuck full of calories, but it's dairy free, and I'll do it. But no, I'll eat anything. I'm a goat, literally.
Okay, thank y'all.
Can I do one interjection, Phoenix? So
Is
my
it
daughter,
short? Is it short?
yes, very short. My daughter just started high school. She's going to a food food and finance high school. So she's learning to be a chef,
Oh, very cool.
and she loves cooking. And so she's bringing home all these freaking things that they make in school. And it's always some kind of like dessert, something like cupcake. Not even a cupcake. What is the big version of cupcakes? Muffin, a muffin. And pasta. And everything has whole milk in it. I'm like, come on. You know, you want me to eat this, right? Just suggest that they have something, you know, lactose free when they make this stuff. I was like, that's your goal in life. Become a chef that understands that there are those of us, and she knows this from cooking for me at home, that can't consume milk. But then that's also my problem. She just started school. She's always bringing home cookies. And she expects me to eat them.
That was,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Don't eat them.
I feel for you.
Okay. Thank you all for that. So today we're going to talk about, of course, alcohol and sugar. I'm going to focus on alcohol because sugar your body can process, alcohol your body cannot. Although I'll tell you that like within our DSM, right, what psychiatrists use for our mental disorders, like the manual, like we have caffeine in there as an addictive substance, and they are and have been toggling with the idea of sugar. So FYI, this is something that is I think the only thing that is keeping it like as not a thing that they already have in there is because the debate is on what an addictive substance is, right? So then like with alcohol, for instance, you can have a chemical dependency on it, and they're working on trying to figure out if they can test whether or not you can have this same sort of dependency in your brain for sugar. And there are studies that are out there that reflect that. With alcohol, they, you know, like you can be chemically addicted, like, so then it affects your brain, but sugar affects your body in a lot of the same ways that like cocaine and different things do. So just to keep that in mind, but I'm not going to talk about that because what I'm going to talk about is alcohol. So it was kind of like what Martine had touched on, talking about not being able to just drink one, and all of you had mentioned, or a lot of you had mentioned calories. The dangerous part of alcohol, though, is not the calories at all. It's just that within your body cannot metabolize it. And so what happens is, and this is what I tell people, it's like drinking poison and then having your body not be able to function because it takes it in and there's no nutritional value to it at all. And not only that, but it doesn't store anything within alcohol like it does from food with everything else. There's a way to break it down. Now, there's a way to break down alcohol, obviously, or you'd always have it in your system. But because of what it entails for your body to break it down, your body does nothing else until it gets rid of it, right? So then if you drink a drink, then your body has to go through and, okay, it detects this substance and it's like, okay, we can't do anything with this. So then it goes through and has to break it down to where at its very minimum, it's called acetate. It breaks it down to water and to carbon dioxide, which then your body can get rid of, right? So then in that time though, your body cannot metabolize your food. So when it talks about slowing down your metabolism, that's what it does, because your body doesn't do anything else until it gets rid of the alcohol. And on top of that, you're overworking your liver. So then when people get cirrhosis and stuff like that from having too much alcohol in their system, it's because their body has had to get rid of this alcohol constantly and consistently. And that's not something that your liver is supposed to do on its own like that. So then it does all of these things, and it does that when you're at a bar, you eating, all right? So then like when people say, and this is why it is so, it makes such a big difference when people take out the alcohol altogether or they don't drink as much. But when people say, oh, well, you know, like through the week, I am 100%, you know, like I do my food prep and all this and that and the third. But on the weekends, I eat whatever and they drink. So you're literally almost setting your body back all of the days that you were on trying to get rid of the alcohol. So as an example, and this is just like an estimation, it says the liver metabolizes alcohol at a rate of about 1 drink per hour, or 0.015% per hour. And this is like all kind of arbitrary numbers. I mean, if you have a margarita that's like from like this big old jug of it, you know, like they serve them in these huge like glasses. Granted, all of that is not alcohol. Probably most of that is sugar. But still, when you get like that much alcohol, that's not to say that that won't take longer than an hour for your body to metabolize. And then it also depends on how healthy your liver is, you know. So then if your liver is damaged in any way or anything like that, that could also slow it down. But then let's just say, you know, you have a normal drink. It's going to take your body an hour to metabolize that drink. Why? And that's assuming you only drink one in an hour. So then there's that, right? So then let's just assume though that during that time you're eating. So when you eat, what happens to that food when you eat and you've had alcohol at the same time? Guess, if you don't know.
Nothing.
Exactly. Absolutely nothing, because your body has shut down and it's like, whoa, we need the liver. Like, can you take over? Like, we have this thing here. We can't function until you do this, right? So then the liver has to get rid of it. So then let's say you eat during that hour or however long it takes, and the liver is trying to get rid of the alcohol. It finally gets rid of this alcohol and you have another drink. Then what happens? You get the idea. It's going to be the same thing. You probably are eating during this time. You know, you're at a bar, maybe you're hanging out with your friends. Probably not even, and when you drink, are you eating salads? No. You're having a burger, you're having French fries, you're having bar food, there's nachos, typically. You maybe go to dinner, you have wine, you have it, but still, like, it's not like you're like trying to watch what it is that you eat. And what I used to tell myself was, well, you know, I need a lot of fat so that I can absorb all this alcohol. Yeah, that worked out real well. So like all of these things, that when I talk to people about like alcohol and like consuming alcohol, I said, and this is why, and this will circle back to what it is that I want you all to talk on for your exiting sort of thing. Not focusing on the point is not focusing on the alcohol or the calories is not the issue. It is the alcohol itself. And then, you know, people are like, well, I have to do this or I have to do that. And I was like, well, that's fine. You know, oh, I need to work. I need to drink alcohol for work. Or I was like, first off, you know, they can't force you to drink alcohol. So there's that lie, right? But then if you feel like you're going to be under some sort of pressure to drink, like socially, or to drink because you have to drink for work, I know tons of people who get a fake drink. Nowadays, because so many people are more concerned with the effects of alcohol, they now have a lot of places that have mocktails and it's on their menu, you know, or they'll have mocktail hours, or they'll have places that have happy hours that don't serve alcohol. And it's becoming a thing, you know. So just making sure that you know that that's out there. But like at the end of the day, what I want to make sure of is that I'm providing you with an education so that you can make smart decisions, right? If you drink, I don't care. I'm not your mom or dad. So it doesn't matter to me. But as long as you know that when you do drink, this is what happens. And so later, if you want to whine to me and talk about how much weight you're not losing or whatever, and then we have this conversation and it's about alcohol, then I'll be like, oh, well, we know what's going on here. So any questions on that? Comments?
See, like every time we talk about alcohol and dieting, I learn something new or something else new. I'm like, that part about food not being able to digest while the body's processing alcohol. I think you skipped that lesson 3 years ago. I didn't catch that part.
Sorry. That's
yeah.
important.
Martine,
It makes a lot of sense.
Martine, she ain't scared, but you just weren't listening.
I must have not been.
You've been saying the same thing all my life.
Food is not digesting. That part I did not hear. Probably shut off when she said, "Don't drink alcohol."
Exactly, because that's what we all did. We're like, what is she talking about?
Let me
Oh
list
my God.
couple of different things that it lists, and I mean, it's the stuff I've already mentioned, but like, so it slows your metabolism, right? And it slows specifically your ability to burn fat. So then when people talk about a beer gut, like that's a real thing. That is as accurate as it gets, right? So then when you're drinking, it goes straight to your belly. Like your body can't metabolize fats. It impairs your digestion. We already talked about that as far as like absorbing nutrients. There are no nutrients in alcohol. So it hinders your ability to absorb other nutrients because of that. So this in turn disrupts your metabolism, increases protein turnover. Does anyone know what that means? Do we know what protein synthesis is? Do we know how important protein synthesis is? I guess we don't if we don't know what it is. So protein synthesis is your ability to, we need to be able to synthesize proteins for the retention of muscle and building of muscle. So it negates our ability to hold on to muscle. It disrupts our gains, our good gains. So keep that in mind. I already mentioned the fat, not burning fat, and then imbalances in your gut bacteria. So when we talk about your GI and all of these different things that affect your gastrointestinal system, alcohol is one of those things that can give you a leaky gut. Another term that's been thrown around a lot.
What is a Nikki gut? I never even heard of that.
So it's just basically, and with everybody, it's different. Like when you figure out what it is that's going on, that like your microbiome within your intestines and all that is supposed to be a certain way. And for each person, that's different. Depending on what types of foods that you eat or everything, it can just disrupt it. So that's just what it means, that you have an imbalance in your intestines. I didn't know this. I read this. So drinking alcohol while taking certain medications can create issues. And one of the ones that it said was Tylenol. So Tylenol can create a bottleneck in the liver, causing it to process alcohol incorrectly and killing liver cells. I've never heard that before. I don't really take Tylenol, but did anyone else know that? I've never.
No, I mean Tylenol is the one thing that they actually push you to use, right?
Exactly.
You gotta take Tylenol. You know, you don't take Tylenol. And it's just like, I don't have Tylenol. I just have, Motrin. Well, Tylenol is best. Like, that's like the number one thing that is, pushed by doctors, by like everyone. Like, take Tylenol. Don't you have Tylenol?
I've heard ibuprofen raises your blood pressure. And since I have high blood pressure, they discourage you from using any kind of ibuprofen. So Tylenol is the only option, the best option, they always say. So that's news to me.
Well, there you go. It kills liver cells, FYI. But then from my understanding, right, if you take aspirin, that can cause ulcers, right? You're just supposed to just sleep it off. Don't take any medicine, just sleep it off.
Deal with it.
Go lie down somewhere.
What about what about naproxen sodium?
What?
Naproxen sodium? Naproxen?
Isn't that the same as that's still a non-steroidal?
Isn't that aspirin in powder form or something like that?
That's still like an ibuprofen type.
Ibuprofen, okay.
Yeah. or it's in that family. It's not that exact same thing, but it's in the family of. So there it is. Trying to make sure I gave you all the dirties. And I did. Any questions on that? So I'm going to circle back around. This is my question is kind of an exiting question. So what I want each of you to give me is, again, your name, although we probably all know each other's names by now. What you feel has been a takeaway for you within this process, like what you learned basically, either about yourself, maybe something that you learned off of a call that has been helpful to you, hopefully something. And then what you need, this third question is what you feel like you need for support as a woman from other women. So name, takeaway you've gotten from this challenge, and what you feel you need for support as a woman from other women.
Okay, I'll go first. So my name is Naomi. And from this challenge, I've learned that I have to celebrate the small victories in order to continue to be successful. I'm going to give you a quick example. Every day was not a good day as far as eating was concerned, meaning, either, I didn't get a chance to meal prep because I'm doing entirely too much. Whatever, for whatever reason. But I still made good choices. Like I have eaten out a lot less over this challenge, which is good for me because I'm constantly on the go. You guys actually have been lucky not to see me in my car all the time because I'm normally always in my car. So I wasn't eating out as much. I tried to make sure that I made stuff at home. And even on the days when I remember one time I said to my son, all right, I'm gonna get you a cheesesteak. I don't know what I was gonna get myself. And I looked at how much it was gonna cost. I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And I totally flipped the script. So I realized that I have to celebrate the small wins, even though it doesn't seem like a lot, it makes a difference. What's going in my body. So that was one of the things. And then what was the other thing you asked me to talk about? I forgot that fast.
What do you need for support as a woman?
Oh, right. So for me, for support, I would say, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but support from other women is just that support. So like if anything that I'm doing or anything that I'm a part of, it's just nice to have a support system. Like that's part of the reason why I do challenges with you all the time, Phoenix, is because I feel like I find that support group for this particular, and I can even say your challenges always go beyond weight. And that's what I think I like. Like, I think I like the fact that, yes, we talk about the weight and yes, we talk about the things that, we could do better, but we also talk about life and how life happens. And sometimes life be life. And like for me this week, life was just life and it wasn't being very nice to me, but how to kind of vet through those things to make sure that even when things are not going the way you need them to or you want them to, you can still make, like I said, I still make good choices. I still, can kind of be in control. And so that's kind of what my idea of support is from other women.
And thank you for that. When you say it's nice to have a support system, like what does that support system look like for you? Like for instance, within this group?
So like, sometimes when you hear people have the same, like the similarities, like tonight when Tip was like, I like the classic margarita, it's like, oh, somebody else likes margaritas, or, I'm a crier, that might make somebody else feel like, okay, cool. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like you just to find those commonalities and those things that kind of make us who we are. Like when we start talking about perimenopause and how people, we all realize that this is something that we're all dealing with. And it's, you kind of don't feel so isolated and alone when you can have those conversations. And this is a safe space. So you feel comfortable. So that's kind of what I mean when I like support, you find those commonalities, you can feel comfortable, you can feel safe in the space. So.
Got it. Thank you so much.
I'll go next. Hey guys, I'm Isa. What I've learned from this challenge, what I've taken from this challenge, it's a lot of nutrition information. I learned a lot about myself as far as what I should be eating and what actually, helps me lose the weight or build the muscle. I've done a challenge before with Phoenix, but I feel like I've taken so much from this particular, I've learned so much from this particular challenge because of these calls and the discussions and, the posts. Um, so yeah, I absolutely loved this challenge. I learned a lot. And I am actually teaching people at work when they look at what I'm eating. And, when I first told them that I was on an 8-week challenge, they're like, oh my God, 8 weeks, that's crazy. And and then I recently just said, well, I'm about to join another 5 weeks. And they're like, well, that's gonna bring you into the holiday party. Okay. As far as what I need from, yeah, as far as support from other women, just a listening ear with no judgment. I'm always the one who gets to listen to everyone. I'm like the go-to person. Everyone dumps their stuff on me, and I'm never one to actually call people with my shit, excuse the language. I keep that to myself and I navigate my own situations on my own. But when I do, I just expect a listening ear and no judgment.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I go next. As you guys know, I'm not new to these challenges with Phoenix. It's been a minute though, and I would say that getting back into the flow of things has been what I've rediscovered since I joined this challenge. Around last year, I kind of started to accept that, okay, getting a little older, I'm going to put on some weight and kind of had to accept my body's going to want to stay this size. So I have to push myself a little bit more if I want to look good or feel healthier, or feel lighter. But this challenge was a real challenge for me because my life has changed since 2020, 2021. New career, more hectic schedule. And also, I drink a lot more socially now than before, which is surprising. So I felt like just listening to just this last conversation, I already knew alcohol wasn't that great for my weight loss gains, but to hear that it completely stopped metabolism, that, as I said, did not know. So that explains a lot about why I'm keeping on weight. Because as you guys know, I'm pretty fit. I work out. I tend to be pretty disciplined in my eating, but I'm not losing weight. So it's like I just found, the red herring, which was staring at me all along. And I knew drinking was gonna slow me down, but I didn't realize it was completely stopping it. And so I really have to challenge myself there. Also, what as mentioned, support from women. When I started this challenge and I told some of my friends, oh, I'm on a diet. I'm only eating these things because everybody's like, come to lunch. No, I have food. You always have food. Yeah, I'm supposed to always have food. First of all, I save money that way. And then I have friends like constantly giving me freaking desserts. Like one of my friends snuck cookies into my soup that I asked her to buy for me last week. I was like, where did this cookie come from? I didn't buy this. So they're like, I don't know, they think I eat too healthy. So they like keep offering me snacks. When I was still working out with Sherry in the summer, um, every Tuesday they walk by my desk with dessert and say, hey, take one. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm going to work out. I don't need a dessert. So what I need from some of the women in my life is a little bit understanding that when I say I'm not going to eat it, stop trying to bully me into eating. My kids already do it. They're always like, "Mommy, eat so healthy. Live a little. It's not gonna kill you." So, like you think when you tell other women, "Hey, I'm watching what I eat," blah 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 blah, they kind of understand and help you a little bit, and that's what I really want. The little bit of sisterly understanding that if I say I'm not supposed to eat something, don't try and make me eat. Don't try and make me eat the wrong thing, the thing I said no to. So yeah.
Thank you for that. And ironically enough, the name of this series, or the name of this hour, I named it one is not going to hurt you, or something like that. Will one really hurt you? Will just having one really hurt you? We were talking about the alcohol and stuff. So that's funny. Thank you for that.
And I'm last. I'm Tiffany. So, but the takeaway that I got from this was more accountability for myself. I've worked with Phoenix before, and this is my first time working back with her in 3 years since my brother passed, which took a toll on me. So I was working with her for a competition, and my brother passed in the middle of it. So I completely lost hope for everything. So it's 3 years later, and now I'm kind of like getting back to my old self. I'm not 100% there, but I'm getting back to my old self where, I'm working out more, and I'm taking more accountability with my food. Now I kind of always watched what I always ate anyways, but I was kind of like scattered. Like 1 week I wouldn't eat at all, or I go 2-3 months with hardly eating. But now I'm keeping like a consistent schedule again, with eating. So that's keeping me in check and helping me with my accountability. That's the takeaway. And the support, for support women, I enjoyed like the group chats and stuff like that, but maybe like in the future, maybe once every couple of weeks, get a workout session in, have that face-to-face, in-person interaction. That helps. I worked with a group of girls. That's how I met Melina. We always used to hit the gym together. So that helped, being around each other, seeing each other, that helped a lot. I worked out with Melina. I used to meet up with Melina like once a month when I used to work with you and hit the gym. So definitely the meeting up together, working out as a group helps, I think. So that's just a suggestion for the future. If we do one of these challenges, meet up once in a while, get that one-on-one or that group time in person.
Okay, great. You're not local though, right?
I'm in New York.
Oh, for some reason I thought you moved.
I move everywhere. I'm in the military, but right now, since my brother passed, I got my job to transfer me home. So I'll be home for another 2 years. And then I may be deployed again. I don't know. But right now I'll be home. So I'll be here till at least end of 2026.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that about your brother.
Thank you.
Were you gonna say something, Sherry?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you all for that. I will take that away with me for future as well, like to apply that for the different programs that we have coming up. With the next challenge, I just wanted to mention this, and then we'll open it up for any final questions or anything. Something that I had mentioned to somebody else that was talking about signing up for the next 5 weeks? Well, first off, if you are in this program now and you decide to go into the next 5, you have the option of going right into it, because technically the 5 week doesn't start until the 10th, but this ends on this weekend. So then you can start as early as next week. It's just an extra week, but sometimes people need that consistency, the continuity of it. So you can roll right into that. So if you're signing up for the next one, then just let me know if that's what you want to do, because then I need to make sure you're already in the system. So that makes it easy, at least that part. But what is going to be different about this one, and that's what I wanted to talk about, was the expectation here. Your time, obviously you're taking off 3 weeks. That's going to make a big difference as far as how much time you have to accomplish or to do what it is that you're wanting to do. This one will be a lot more, well, first off, it's going to be, even though I customized what it was that I gave to you all, I put your macros in, that was definitely customized within, though, a platform that generated different menus for you, right? So I'm not going through and giving you a bunch of menus with recipes and grocery lists. I don't have that kind of time or brain power. However, what it is that we're going into this next time, though, will be a very basic regiment, because I just believe that the simpler that you make meal prep, the easier it is. So then if you, it's going to require you to batch prep a lot of your things, batch prep your chicken, batch prep your, it just makes it easier. So it's going to be one of those things where, and it's specific to you. And then we had like these, your check-ins in this one, which I looked at, but I didn't really comment on. But these next 5 weeks, like, you will turn in a check-in, and I'll be looking at your pictures and telling you probably weekly what it is that I feel like you need to change. So it will be something that's a little more specific to everybody. The workouts and everything else will be within the calendar. Sherry will also have different videos that will be available to you to do different things, and she can touch on that before we get off of the call. And then there will just be other like classes and stuff like that. I'm looping in Kaylin also to help with classes. She has online classes too that she's offering, and so we'll have all of that information. So a lot of different things, but just, I like that we do these like lifestyle type calls and lifestyle type programs, because I feel like that's what the 8 week program was. I'm not going to be a hard ass about, okay, well then you need to do this, or, because just like Naomi was saying, life does life. Like, so I'm not expecting you to be on all the time. Not that I'm expecting you to be on for these next 5 weeks either, all the time, but there is going to be a higher level of expectation because you've already been through this. So then when you go through this, like the first 2 weeks, sometimes it's like, I don't even understand what it means to meal prep. Like, what does that mean? Oh, I got to measure my food. Oh, you meant like just baked chicken. I can't fry it. I can't leave the skin on. No. Like, so now we're not having those conversations. Like, now you already know all of these different things, and we're here to hit it hard 5 weeks. Boom. And that's it. Okay. Did anyone have any questions on that?
I was just looking at the hustle information, and it says something about the 3rd. So that is the 3rd of November, this Sunday. That's when it starts.
It officially starts on the 10th. Where do you see the 3rd?
Oh, where in the chat you mentioned
Oh,
if you win, you start right on the 3rd.
yes.
Maybe that one.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you for that. So if you are a winner of this challenge, then you are starting on the 3rd. Okay. So there's that. And then also, as I mentioned before, so if you are not wanting to kind of be, we're utilizing as in Phoenix, and they're going to put it on. It can be as little or as much as you want it to be, but we're going to be utilizing this as a marketing tool for the Macy's event that we're doing in December, but then also just the 5 week challenge. right? So then
Okay.
we're going to be tracking like the different things that are going on with you and your progress through that from the time that we start on the 3rd until the end of the challenge.
So if this group, if you win in this particular challenge right now,
Mm-hmm.
we get an extra. That person gets the extra week.
Yeah, if you win, you don't have to enter. So you don't,
Okay.
that is your prize. The prize
Okay.
initially, right, was that you got coaching through the end of the year. So this would just be included
Okay.
in your coaching. Does that make sense?
Okay. Understood. Understood. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So the price goes up Monday, Tuesday.
It's going to be at the latest Tuesday. I wanted to get
Okay.
it off by today, but
Okay.
I'm waiting.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure because I'm like, Narissa did message me about it. I just hadn't really looked at the details. I've been watching the emails, and I was like, okay, let me pay attention now and get on this because I'm like, if this program was going through the holidays, I'm away for 2 weeks, so it's kind of would be much of a challenge doing that. So I just, if this is starting from November through the 14th, then that's perfect. So I want to make sure.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah.
even going to play myself and try to get people to do it through Christmas.
Yeah. Okay. We can't hear you, Naomi.
What'd you say?
Oh, I thought you were talking to us.
I was just saying she's so funny. Talking about I'm not trying to play myself and get people to do this through Christmas. She says that all the time. You remember during COVID, we stopped for in between like Christmas and the New Year too. Like she was like, I ain't playing a game. Y'all not messing with me.
Y'all ain't stressing me out going into 2025.
I remember that.
Understood. Appreciate that too.
Yep. Okay, anyone else have any other questions or Sherry, do you have anything to add?
Just the for the next challenge for the 5-week hustle, the videos that I'll be pushing out are going to be mini workouts, literally 5 to 6 minutes only, and it's just meant to be that 5 to 6 minutes because during the holidays and you're getting between, Thanksgiving and Christmas, like you're getting gifts, you're running here, work, like, and if you only have 5 to 10 minutes, literally, or even 15 minutes, that's what you want. You want something quick. If you won't be able to make it to the gym, you can do something at home. Like that's it. That's what the videos are meant to. And if you want to do 20 minutes, you just add on. You just repeat, right? But they are 5 to 6 minutes, and that's it. It does not include like a warm up and cool down. I'll provide those, and you have the option to add those, or you just do a warm up yourself. But they are literally only 5 to 6 minutes. All right, you'll get a pump. I guarantee that. I'm not gonna. It's not like 5 minutes of walking through the park. But yeah, definitely. Those videos are quick, to the point, and you can use it to get your pump on. That's it.
That's great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, comments? If you are continuing, I do want to have a conversation with you prior to. Issa's already on my calendar, so make sure that it's only 15 minutes, but I want to see where you come from within this one and then going forward, what we're looking at, since it's such a crunched amount of time. So it's just for me to kind of get my eyes on you and then also to get some feedback from you before we start.
Okay.
Anything else? We did good today. We got 3 minutes. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes of your life back. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
all of you.
Good
Enjoy
night.
your week. Yes. And
Thank you, ladies.
have a good week.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Have a good
You're
night.
welcome. Good night.